다 되는데 가시오래 아니 투덴 주련라다 데 산엘리 데 곰발리아 자체 아니 다 지난주 만한주 뷰리 가시오다 주게 슈네민도 라마니도 시니어레 다나 신기 주메다 캠보다 아니 주만 넘버레 아니 지난주다 딘뒤데베 초보초모 아니 상말로리아다 가조단 제데 아니 미세기 참지슈에인스.
So today I would like to start off by offering my very warm greetings to everyone. Having traveled here to Sravasti Abbey through the invitation of your abbess Tupten children, I'm certainly very happy to be here today. And so then to the abbots, to the venerable nuns, venerable monks, and friends, and all who are interested in Tibetan Buddhism, I offer my very warm greetings.
아니 지난주 공부했던 데신 요르스 계속 데스 감이 좋은 신데 니만에도 과제 한다는 신이 빠른데 뭔가 통 데스 아니 도스레데다 되는 거 수자지 아니야 비게 산에 립두잖아 아니야 소화도 무슨 만자지 시라기 차지고 차추고 아니 지비게 사제기고 아니 시디 지카소 peaceful 시그러와 근데 예대버지 근데도 제가 대인도 믹스에기가 가보충 아니 그냥주 된데 다투된 주려나 조규에 아니 그냥주다 대중의 참말로 꿀레시라 뛰어요래 지산디 괜비기 다 세고 신도 디다 지카소 그래 근데 인도 아니 시라기 가보충스.
So before arriving to the Abbey, I had the opportunity to hear about it and also to see some photographs. But actually arriving here yesterday and seeing the place physically for myself, certainly I feel great happiness in seeing what kind of place this is. It's very clear that this place is one that is full of calm, a very pleasant atmosphere, very peaceful and happy. And so seeing all of this, I feel especially happy to have arrived here. And so then for the sake of creating an auspicious link or a sense of auspicious dependent arising between us, it's very wonderful that I have the opportunity to come here and also to see that the organizers for this event have been working so hard to achieve everything successfully. I'm certainly very, very happy to see all of this.
Organizers in the combat cavial.
Excuse me, so what Rinpoche said was actually seeing the people who have contributed to the building of this monastery and all the hard work that has gone into that. I'm very happy to see that.
아니 좀해야지 아니 지피게다 추기 가든 그봐 추기 재고 친부질 재고질다 도신 좀진 도신 요래 제산디 인도자네다 가시오래 땅 안한주 지피게 가시오래 다 추기 가든 친부질 도신 좀진 요래스.
No. So, having gathered here today, all of us here are gathered for a very special Dharma event. So, essentially, the meaning for why we're here is for the sake of the Dharma.
지산디 인도자네다 안한주 지단 점불린딜이야 최세야다 타격 친체네다로 비지 동자 숨시 비지 드리신 친지도 중요해. 다디나네 지그게 가서래 더주비에 가서래 딱 하지 힌두 아니 지그게 이슈 아니 낭바 아니다 주 아니 식 안다는 식이 지그게 줄루양 가서래 충자된데 양 뭔가 쉬우시도 충전에 뭐 동자 뭔고래야 또 내진 도시 중요했어.
So generally speaking, in the world, the Dharma has been around for perhaps 3 to 4,000 years, and it has spread throughout various parts of the world. And then in terms of religions, I think Rinpoche meant religions, religions have spread throughout the world for the past 3 to 4,000 years. But in terms of religions that have a philosophy, there are many different types. We have, for example, the Hindu religion, the Christian religion, Judaism, the Sikh religion, and of course Buddhism. And so all of these religions have their various views, and these have been around for many thousands of years.
중전에 간다 있잖다 비게 지 더주 예배다 추 든주 다 멍부지 다네 균네 토버지 다 더주 매배 추 든주 아니 야카도 그거 원기 지 가서로 비게 네처스도 인지게레나 네처 싱라 추버치
알레롱
데 요도 데 서로 야 니마단 다월 추버치 서로 데 기타지 비게 나조 망고 쉬우지 용어되기도 와. 제 따든주 따루 매베 소치로 와. 젠 데데스 젠 간다 있잖다. 네. 따루 예베 취든주다. 지 따루 매베 취든주 망고지 달라. 매베 차차. 근데 총진네. 따루 예베 취든주다. 단다보도 네투바. 안도 신 중요하레스.
Now in terms of those religious traditions that do have some kind of philosophical perspective, these have been able to remain for some time in the world. But if we look at religions that lack a philosophical underpinning, these are sort of animistic traditions wherein they worship aspects of nature, where they believe in sort of worshipping the sun and the moon. These sorts of religions that lack a philosophical underpinning have been lost, whereas we can see that those with some kind of philosophical view have been able to remain in this world.
줄로 토네 아니 점불린 딜이야 다 단다 슈베나 싱 롱 동자 먹고 내치니 아니 직게 할수 그래 밀레 펜도 전부자 전부시다 중요하래 야한테 줄로 민기 토네 점불린이야 녀다 쇠기 다 강에 쇠기야 내주먹도 시네 로주 토네도 중요하레스.
Now, for the many thousands of years in which we have had religion in this world, we see that there is great benefit to sentient beings. However, also in the name of religion, there also have been many problems that have been created as well.
간다장 직비게 줄루 왕자 첨보탕 딘제기 겜베 밀리아 강에체야 밀루 독수 쇠야 아니 직비게 디톤에 직다 니주 먹고 쉬우지 종전에 간다장 아니 롱어 자자 다니숨 공내 제니 아니 줄루 생에 디단 점불링기 야겔 뉴도스 봐 아니 미 신윤젠다 미직비게 사무통에 먹고지 데스 랍체네 아니 직비게 줄루리아 직비게 견다 고추체네 아니 딘데기 하고도 직 가서 오르다 야게 점불링 야게스네 면도 딩럽기 직비게 야게 줘야리아 줄루기 몽데디 토네 아니 직비 고게 먹고 수고도 첸 랍체네 다 줄루생의 고야 민두스 봐 첸네 아니 배추 잠일다게 투주든데 중요레스 추세에 칸네시 뱀하줘야 봐 칸네 람하줘야 중네 아니 직비게 롱고 망불이야 디 시스템스네 민두 근데 다르잖아 봐 아니다 우르수다 야나다 근데 망불이야다 추레야 강에 전부 쉬우지 추세생 하람다 가서 직 뱀하줘야 이게 두껍든데 중요레스.
So, in any case, we see that religions in the past have been a source of great suffering for people. It has created many problems out of having too much power. And we can see in human history many situations of this sort. And then also for the past 200 to 300 years, many people have the perception that, in fact, religion is something harmful to human progress and development. They see many problems in religion. They see it as being very superstitious. And in this present age, something that is no longer relevant to human progress and to human development, they see it as being, in fact, very harmful to human development. And therefore, they have this perception that, in fact, religion is not needed in this world. So we now live in a time in which it is almost as if you cannot even say the word religion or speak about religion in any way. Also
Not
around
now,
the world.
not now.
Oh.
There was a time.
There was a time.
There was a time during the Soviet Union and the Cultural Revolution in China, you know.
No.
So those days.
Okay.
So there was a time where religion was totally banned
Yes.
because of they think the message of religion is totally against the, how should I say, progress of economy and progress of science, right? Religion is totally sort of blind faithed. So there was a time where it was totally banned.
Yes.
And did it?
No. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, so like that. So many difficult times that religions have faced in history. But over the times, it had remained. But still it's remaining now. So I think it is, so that proves that it is benefiting people, I would say. It has benefited and it is still benefiting people. So it has benefited people and it so tadi yage mandro ya jorba because chulu mingi thone ani mili ta khare keji tus tin tugob chung yor tele chue sing tande mutun ne yores ba chu tin ne ko yumzen chita tende yugires ba
So there have been these times in human history in which we have seen resistance towards religion, saying that religion is not necessary for this world and in fact harmful. And nevertheless, we see, however, that religion has remained in this world. And so clearly there is some kind of benefit and some reason for why religion has remained.
No. Very good. 아니 대산들이 인도산에다 내고에 김전디 다 간다 고고 유부치 그봐 고 밀 고에 니주지 토네다 네투버레스 그봐 대산디 인도산에다 지난 대베 롱고 자타디나 오늘 찬내기지 이게 말한주 또 친구베 토네 대베네다 야게 하장기 야첨부당 새 토보 페이지 오늘 대베 롱고 자타 대베이나 단대 자자 딩 공기 자자 되나 야게 침번한 신시 문제기 롱 자자 멍분나래 된 침해버데 세버시라데스 다 추제에 다가나 신기 닌진지 다 직비게 들어와 텔레비전 다 네트워크 인터넷 직 된데 뭐 쉬우지 그 토네 미강에 뭐 세트웨지 학과도 면주고 돌리나 다 쉬우지 야게 친 미코버샤네 다 배지 닝도 저 제보게 그 되게 그 랩친도 봐. 전에 친구부터 하장기 야게 새롱보 지당 야게 하장 첨부치 또 전도 투여です.
So then there is clearly a reason why religion has remained in this world. And what this tells us is that there is some kind of need for religion. However, if we look generally in the past 100 or so years, or the several centuries of the past, we can see that certainly there has been huge progress and development in terms of the external and material world. So specifically, if we look at the past 100 or so years, there has been incredible development and progress in terms of the various kinds of machinery that we have access to, the technology, telephone networks, television, the internet, and so forth. So we see that there has been all of this incredible development, and all of this has been also very helpful in reducing and getting rid of much of the suffering that human beings experience. In terms of medicine as well, we see great progress, and these days one can even have a heart transplant. So it has certainly reached a very high level of development, and so this external material progress has been something that we've witnessed over the past few centuries.
제산들이 이내다 점물인 디나리아 친구비 야제 돈에 오늘 전에 새롱부지당 쉬우지 야제 친다 친여를 될래 이내 미셈기 강에디 아니 총르 친여를 베스는 총르 친민두스 셈기 강에 체르체르치 셈라야 직비게 가서래 셈기 강에 겜베 아니 수고마 되어 영야 셈기 강에 겜베 아니 직비게 가서래 오늘 전에 직비 셈바 투진 베 녀바 차줘야 그봐 아니 리지 비게 지 도나직 비게 탑 교슈지리아 아니 미 소소 소젠 그봐 소소소 당주 랑시 잡스도와 베겔이야 어디 딘데 소소 소젠 어디 딘데 니주다 마노마노 줘대 니주지다 아니 직비게 가서 오르다 drugs 오르와 딘데리아 비게 토네다 아니 셈 강에 세리아 탑럼 중에 그봐 뭔가 쉬우지 차니 셈 강에디 오늘 전에 다 야게 되게 신어데 셈바 기보다 셈바 약 걸려보고 그러대 디마 좀 뭐지 단도 셈 강에 망하다 셈 강에 채워 그봐 베너로지는 아주 야가도 와다 지금 롱바 구조 비유도 와 산에 가시기 미셈기 강에 때 충어르지 셈 흘버지 즉 친구비 야게 채 요새 롱바 든줄이야 시라기 튕기엔 전부 여르들이 그냥 셈 강에 받대비는 강에디 들어왔다 직사에 통해 고향 강에디 요마때 셈 강에디 채요스지 근데 수주다 용도 왔어 야 아메리카 나리네 직변은 구조로 문제 사진데네 안데스미도 고향으로지 통계다 직 개선데 성능성을 내가 싶이 생각해 미도 아니 롱랑으로지다 직비에 셈 강에 채르지 근데 상안 주다 뭐니 주도 통투도 왔어 제가 디인도 다디 가르르스는 친구비 야게 토네 나스미 강에 세야 파샤니 단도 셈리야 두주 당 셈 강에 치르 저대야 니주 용디기 요버데 답지 라트토 친구어스.
So in this world we can see that there has been immense external development that has taken place. However, if we look at whether or not people have less mental suffering as a result, well, if we ask ourselves, do they have less mental suffering or not, we can see very clearly that, in fact, it seems as if they have even more inner mental suffering than before. And owing to this inner sense of mental suffering and unhappiness, we see that people, when they are mentally unhappy, often this affects them physically. And so their mental lack of happiness can lead to physical discomfort. We also see that in some cases, people can completely lose their sanity out of the mental stresses that they experience. And then in the worst scenario, there are people who even go to the extent of taking their own lives or committing suicide. And so then we can see that the world in which we live in the world in which we live in, there is an increase in this kind of inner mental suffering. We see also cases of drug abuse or various other kinds of substance abuse taking place. And so then, what we have to think about is that with external material progress, there should be some kind of correlation with our inner mental development. So as we attain greater physical happiness, there should be some kind of correlation with an inner mental happiness taking place, and yet this does not happen. Other evidence of the incapacity of external progress to account and take care of our inner mental development is when we see that in developing countries such as India and so forth, in these countries, you tend to see more inner happiness in spite of the fact that these people lack the same kind of development that we see in other countries. And whereas in these countries that are more developed, even though the people living there do not have any difficulties in terms of acquiring food or drink or habitation and so forth, nevertheless, these people tend to be suffering much more on a mental level. Even in America, if we look at the more rural areas of America, people there seem to have a greater degree of inner peace and happiness. Whereas in the cities, in places where people are very busy, where they have a lot of work to do, we do tend to see more anger, more stress, and this inner mental suffering. And this is something that we can see very clearly. This is the reality that each and every one of us can perceive directly. So what does this tell us? This tells us that outer progress is not enough. Outer progress cannot account for our inner mental suffering or inner mental happiness. And we can see then that there is a great need for developing our inner mental happiness as well.
레데이네 만주다 직피게 친구비 야게리야 숙조 잡대버마도 지기 난기 직피게 가서 그래다 셈기 교와 땅치네 아니 셈 야게 땅야다 직피게 딘제기 털이야다 숙중류도 마소네 시라기 춘주 봐 춘주 잡에 따따 세버든 거 요레스 먼저 봐 난셈기 야게 세야들 직피게 totally neglect 봐 totally neglect 봐 친구부 야게 코란이야 조 숙ገብ만도 난셈기 그게 누버 공부다야다 셈기 연den세야들이야 당도 할람다 지금에베 다 가서 지금에베 지금 요마르바스 티겜베 다 덴데도 차디기 요레스.
So in spite of these signs that clearly something is lacking to create happiness on a mental level, nevertheless, we still in this world pay much more attention to external material development, and much, much less attention is paid to transforming the mind and creating a sense of inner peace and happiness. In fact, it is almost as if it is totally neglected. We totally neglect to pay attention to our inner mental transformation and development. It's almost not done at all. And this is then a very clear sign that we have of this lack of inner mental development.
최세기 아니 간주 고된도 거라 하르토네 연구를 신 셰비나 아니 다 짐밤 로 참에 되는라에 구레스 로 랑기 오원 짐바 스그도와 주기지니 더 되나 간다 주주르담에 된다질 로 주주르담 봐 요담 바치 요 가르던 거 같으스는 나란주 주기 셈 마시시 마두와 로 셈 하장기 락바 아니 직비게 가서 그래 니몸비 샤원도 손딩에 셈디 따직비게 가서 그래 셈디 아니 정보 쉬우지다 봐 니몸 봤어야지 알안주다 겨워처럼 토마매 받네 곰지 때 봐. 곰지 때 비겜베 다 가서 셈기 랑신디 거라 비게 직 니몸베 샤원도 손딩에 소르치 봐. 디데기 겜베다 직 비게 가서 그래 셈 정보 쉬우지 인도 다 디주주다 그러봐 셈 디데질이야 다 쉬었으니 고통 거라 다가는 리고요레스.
So when we speak of this word chö or dharma in Tibetan, what is the meaning of this word? Well, there are essentially two meanings to this word chö in Tibetan. The one meaning is to hold something, and when we take the meaning of holding, it means the holding of each and every phenomenon's own individual nature. So each phenomenon has its own individual nature, and this is one understanding of this word chö. Now, another understanding of the word chö is transformation. So what is it that we are aiming to transform? We are aiming to transform our own minds, the mental continuum. And what we are transforming in terms of the mental continuum is a lack of inner peace, a lack of being tamed within the mind. Or we can also say the grosser aspects of the mind. In addition, we can also say the afflictive emotions that we have within our continuum. So when we look at these afflictive emotions, we can see that these are something in which the mind has become incredibly habituated to. In fact, we have habituated in these afflictive emotions since beginningless time. And as a result of this kind of extremely extended habituation, we are totally under the power of these afflictive emotions. And as a result, we have these minds that are totally controlled by the negative emotions. And so this is what we are aiming to transform.
어쨌든 딘데 인도 잔에다 추유 고된데 딘데 지기 토네 다 호추 대셰도 코라 딘데 지기 토네 연구여레스 마도 지기 신직 비게 가서라 칸에 잠도 된셰바 지탕 다는 신이 직비게 류기 직비게 줄럼 교와 땅토버 잠지기 추 전담버진한테 배지 가고 싶다 되셨어.
So this is the meaning in which we should really take the Dharma. This is the understanding that we should have. Otherwise, just being able to recite the refuge prayer or slightly changing some of your physical behaviors, whether or not we can really call this Dharma is questionable.
제산된 인도산에 루와 먼저 사자카시엘이야 루와 아니 히말라야 리규 사자카시엘이야 아니 추어 카르레스진 게지티베 갑리야 아니 추스티다 잠도 되야티 라마라 교수 상제레 교수 추르 인도리 교수 디레스 어떻든데 아니 지비게 상제 좀 된데다 아니 지비게 상바 예전을 쏘고다 돈수 아니 지과르 베스진 저담베 갑리야 안 지과레스 개와 요마레스对吧 this is an copy chu tanda ngodo de go ngochu me ta ta se chen chego ro ba chen di indu nani di nganju da kashi ore jamne kunjo sumgi ro ba yende ro ba da na sing chi bi sanji chi kusung tu gi yende ro ba di nane chi bi ge da kashi ore bangdo gi yende ro ba oda chi sanji se de sane chi bi ngone 야갈이야 아니 지 로니동 앞에 광이야 페시 피샤베 아니 지 게세 아니 지 비 랍도 좀 된데 잠지리야 참아샤브체 그러봐 산지기 지비 무슨 도다 방도기 윤데 도드네 지비 구시다니 쟁기 그러봐 산지에스데 오다 디 던다딩 안주 상고에데 시우지 계신 부처기 유서레스 자기도스.
So then we see in some parts of the world, particularly in the Himalaya regions, when you ask people that live there, what is the Dharma? What is your understanding of what Dharma is? They say, well, Dharma is just being able to recite, I go for refuge to the Lama, I go for refuge to the Buddha, I go for refuge to the Dharma, I go for refuge to the Sangha. So that's their understanding of the Dharma. And if you ask them, well, what about the Buddha and other deities like Indra and so forth? Are they the same or different? These people will say that, in fact, the Buddha and Indra are the same. And so then this is a very clear sign that the people in these parts of the world, or the people who say these sorts of things, have failed to recognize what in fact the Dharma is. So what then do we need to understand in terms of the Dharma? Well, we need to really understand the various qualities of the sources of refuge, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. In addition, we need to understand the various qualities of body, speech, and mind that the Buddha has, the qualities of abandonment and realization. And so then we need to understand that the Buddha was this person who 2,500 years ago renounced worldly life and became a monk, attained realization and taught in the world. In addition, we need also to have this understanding of the Buddha as having, as possessing the qualities of the four bodies or the four kayas. So these are the things that are very important to understand.
제가 다티 인도산에 좀 된디게 아니 지금 아니 자가 바베도 전에 되는 비게 지 주의 공부게 지시는 소배도나 지금 비게 주고다 야심 부시부지 도신 거친 도신 중요해 다디 나네 지금 비게 조조로부터 안주 견디도 좀 그봐 다 주자 도조디 요소부터 다디 나만 되버지 베지 매버스 수도 신지레스.
So then we should understand that the Buddha was this being that manifested in India many 2,500 years ago, and then taught the 84,000 collections of the Dharma and spread the Dharma vastly in a very vast manner across the whole of India. Also, we have to understand that the meaning of the Dharma is very much contained in the concise, middling, and extensive Prajnaparamita Sutras. And within these Prajnaparamita Sutras, there is nothing of the Dharma that is not contained therein.
다디 겐디 뒤숨기 죄제 아니 용소버티 아니 다 주준 참고한 게 되니 비게 거슈그래 원도기나 봐 뒤치네 봐 차상치 도치네 송제 도치하기 어레스 로바 디토네 아니 도그 던다티 아니 바 델라도 니토바 로바 당 원도기 주제 토네마 지시 슈비는 조디다 뭐데 안 돈이 그런 봐 집어다 엔 배동 원도기는 바스 도치 니 토네
So the content of the concise, middling, and extensive Prajnaparamita Sutras was summarized by Maitreya in the Ornament of Clear Realization, or the Abhisamaya Alamkara. And it was the content of the Prajnaparamita Sutras was condensed in this text and made very easy to understand for disciples. Now, the main topics of the Prajnaparamita Sutras are the actual teaching of emptiness and then the hidden meaning, which are the stages of the path.
다 디토네마 가슈르 다 도드는 딱 한다 지비게 가슈르 닌중 장심 봐 닌중 장심 양다베 다오 숨디 다 죄제 닝부 도드버버디 디토네 리비도스.
However, in brief, if we're to take the essence of the meaning of the concise, middling, and extensive Prajnaparamita Sutras, we can summarize all of that into the three principal paths of renunciation, bodhicitta, and the correct view.
다 디토네 젠다 드림 마슈데야 딩 안주 우메 드지 첨바 신덴스 첸다 조디 아니 비가슈그레 돈이 주제 체베 봐 안다 슝 아니 다 겨군 군진 듬바 계산자 주제베 보다 또 신레스 아니 가슈그레 다디 어디 도스레샤
So today, the text that we are covering is the text known as the Song of the Four Mindfulnesses, which takes as its main topic the topic of emptiness. And this text was composed by the 7th Dalai Lama, Kelsang Gyatso, Gelwa Kelsang Gyatso.
다드네 조도디 참바 신덴스 봐 라마 참바스 아니지 가슈그레 닝지 템바스 아니 타워 템바스 봐 하고 템바레 하고 템바레 아니 타워 템바스 어디 딘디스 어디 시토네마 용도스 모드르.
So this text, the Song of the Four Mindfulnesses, is divided into four basic sections. We have mindfulness first, mindfulness of the Guru, followed by mindfulness of compassion, followed by mindfulness of the deity, or the form of the deity, and then finally mindfulness of the view.
우메 따티 템바 신덴기 구리양 무주 참비 슈소사 다 당고디 라마 템바 세팅스르베
No.
디리샤 탑시 송주 규미기 땡데나 개군고 진진기 라마슈 방돈조베 상계시 되난다 견도 방네 당난기 소아테 랑셈 캔인데 뭐죠 무규기간도 슈 템바 제미도 치네 무규기간도 송우사 다디 라마 템바 세팅스레 봐 다디 값수 가지고래 디리샤다 오래 다디 다 답시 로와 아니 가지고래 다 dulu thone dulu rwata dulu kyangbe wong de chen je xie xu wei na tab chen ju ge sem da ani doni dobe lo chu ri sme bas rwa tabshi song ju de xie ti rwa tabshi song ju da tab ani chen ju ge sem rwa da na xin gi ani chönam di ni lu ji da wa xin du kenbe ani da ka shu gre bige doni dobe lo ni ani ji bige chu ri su ma song war 아니 군이 비게 직변 직조 송치르와 직변 직조 송베 토네 아니 직비게 조조야 돼 아니 집어자야 돼 아니 직비게 가서 그래 가시고 다 똑똑 보내 건도 보야래야 그러와 딘제기다 답시 송도 제베 그러와 아니 뭐 아니 비게 다 진징을 라마 그러와 딘제기 라마티 아니 직비게 가시고 그래 다 라마티기 아니 구순투기 제바 쳔베 토네르와 방도기르와 아니 지 가슈그레 코아 칭제기 되니 비게 니모 투숨세네 민두 가슈그레 한다장 지다 방배 윤대기 토네 시체베인다 레 방배 윤대기 토네 시체베인다 코아 칭워 치베르와 코아레 만주 코아레 하다버 치에디 가리 토네 임보르스네 nani kowa chingji gita zo di lenyu nyi wa di nane da nimomba wa nimo tusum oda dinjegi di gembe da kashugure da kowa le chingwa chigo wa chezan da bangbe wa bangbe yunde ani nimomba le chowa wa chowe ani bangbe da kashugure bangbe bangba dan demba wa 도배 연대행이 돈을 쉬고 있는다 최탐지 무슨도 도배 아니 직비게 캠바가 돼봐 그봐 된제기 다 방도 가수를 조댕이 기스 그봐 아니 라마텔라스 아니 가란주 직비게 다 가수를 텔리아 다 견도 방치를 그봐 견도 방치네 아니 당나
So first we have mindfulness of the Lama. And if we look at the first line of the first stanza, it states, on the unwavering cushion of the union of method and wisdom. So looking at this meaning of the union of method and wisdom, we can analyze this in terms of the sutra presentation of union of method and wisdom. So within the sutra presentation, when we speak about method and wisdom, method pertains to bodhicitta, and wisdom is related to the knowledge of all phenomena as they exist. So it is the realization of emptiness. And when we speak about the union of method and wisdom within the sutra school, we're saying, we mean that the aspect of method and the aspect of wisdom are mutually benefiting to each other. They do not harm each other in their practice, and each contributes to the practice of the other. And so then when we have this union of method and wisdom, there is this capacity to develop each of these practices to a greater and greater degree. Now, in terms of the Lama, we say that the Lama is a person who is of the nature of this union of method and wisdom. And so when we have mindfulness of the Lama, of course we are remembering the various qualities and activities of the Lama's body, speech, and mind, their capacity to lead beings out of samsaric existence and suffering. But we also have to think about the various qualities of the Lama. And that is stated in the third line. There is a Buddha in the state of culmination of realizations and cessations. So here realizations and cessations can also be understood in terms of realizations and abandonment, right? So we talk about the various qualities of the Lama's realizations and the qualities of abandonment. So what are the qualities first of abandonment? Well, we have to think about how the Lamas are free from that which binds one to samsaric existence. So what binds us to samsaric existence are mainly two causes. We have the afflictive emotions and then also karma. So the Lama is someone who is completely free of the afflictive emotions. They have completely liberated themselves from the three mental poisons. Now, in terms of the qualities of realization that the Lamas have, they have the quality of realizing each and every phenomenon, realizing all things as they actually exist. And so the Lama possesses these qualities of abandonment and realization. And viewing this Lama, having this perception of the Lama, we should then cultivate great devotion and respect to him or her.
다 된대다 단다 가슈고래 다 답시 송주기 유미기 된래야 되는 비게 진진 라마 슈스 제저와 된대기 진진 라마 세대야 대다양 안주 직비게 라마의 명토바 잠다 라메 직비게 가수고래 다철로 여바 잠마인베 직비게 유디네 셰베 네 라메 친이 상치고야 대다시라게 좀 자디게 요레스.
So then it says, on the unwavering cushion of the union of method and wisdom sits the kind Lama, who is the nature of all protectors. So when we speak about the kind Lama, what should be our understanding of this? A person who is a Lama is not a Lama simply by virtue of having been given the title of Lama. Instead, as stated in the scriptural sources, we need to find a Lama that has all of the various qualifications of being a spiritual guide or guru.
단 동아기 갑스니 비게지 가서래 그봐 도디네 시베 라마 도와네 시베 라마 아니 가슈그레다 상아네 시베 라마 다 딘데 라메 친이 소소소 샤요레스.
So then in terms of the qualification, the understanding of a qualified guru, there are many different ways in which we can understand this and different presentations. So we have the presentation within the sutra system of what constitutes a qualified Lama. In addition, there is a set of standards that are applied within the Vinaya for a qualified Lama, and then also within the presentation of Tantra of what a qualified Lama entails.
다 간다 뒤중 안주 용자 돈의 슈비나 아니 가서 그래 그봐 도디겐 그봐 도디겐 비유 신이 두어시와 니시와 윤델 하바 준지 롱그추 대니 랍도 도베 마케데 제베다니 교와방라 댄스 송원의 신기 아니지 비게 라마 아니 기회 신이다 주준된지 그봐 도신 송고 요레스 주주던데 봐 그다음에 친이 그봐 주 요레스 가서다 창고에 주
yes 공다름시 다긴기 치제되기 연대제제데 근데 치제는
신이 두어스 두어 시와스 아니 녀와 시와스 아니 연대를 하고 전제스 아니 롱기 주바스 아니 디니 랍도 토바스 아니 마케단 담바스 아니 제베다니스 아니 교아방라 댄스 다 신이 두어스나 아니 지비게 라바 추림이 라베 아니 시체네 아니 다 신이 두어스 봐 시와스나 아니 라바 띵인징이 라바 단덴베고네 다 간다 셈 시라 찬냠바 봐 다디 조디 라바 띵인징 고도와 당보디 추림이 라바체 니바 띵인징 라바 아니 녀와시와스도 전에 아니 지비게 가서 그래 라바 아니 가서 그래 시럽기 라바던 템바스 봐 니모 녀와시베 시럽기 라바던 템바스 아니 신이 가서 연대를 하고 전제스 봐 준주던 템바스 아니 롱기 주바스나 동아게 답이게 가서 주주 템베 아니 롱기 아니 비게 다 다니지 가서 다롱 롱망부 봐 라마다 퇴바자 첨부해 돼 봐 아니 다 롱주 디니랍도 똑바스 디니랍도 똑바스나 사무 동반이 봐 사무 동반이 똑바르 당 야메나 마도나양 동반이래야 아니 만다 춘지기 봐 at least as your bata
Yes.
the any koi number tawa yobat right ani market nan bas ani ya chu ji pige so su ji chu tunda shene milia shake ba ji mena ya digo marba zena di induzane shake ba ji ku yo des the market nan ba ani zewe danis ani ya shake ba ta ji pige so su shene ya ku yo ine ani 로말리아 자와면은 아니 가쇼래 디디고 말봐 어쨌든 자와는 바스 어디 된지 고거스 아니 교화방 바스 아니 최대한 교화매 바스 지 냠나체 지어로 아 탄치도 남산 6세 근데 멤버체 롬베디 가쇼래 교화 빵 봤다. 교화스는 쌤 교부 제조로. anga 당지도 가 갈레카도 스틴데스네 다 교화로 봐. 교화 빵 봤어. 어때 딘데지 구고요. 됐어.
In the more general or common presentation of the qualities of a qualified guru, the scriptural source that is often cited is from the Ornament of Sutras by Maitreya, in which it states that a qualified Lama is someone that possesses the following 10 qualities. So the first quality is that the Lama is someone who is required to be tamed. And the meaning of this is that the Lama is someone who has perfected or at least engaged in the higher training and discipline. And so they are very disciplined in their conduct. Next, it says that the Lama is someone who should be peaceful. And when it is said that the Lama should have the quality of being peaceful, it means that the Lama is someone who has trained in the higher discipline of concentration and therefore possesses a very peaceful mind. Then the next quality is that the Lama should be someone who is thoroughly pacified. And the meaning of being thoroughly pacified is that the Lama has trained in the higher training of wisdom and has therefore gained insight into the nature of reality. Next, it says that the Lama should be someone who is very diligent, who works very hard in order to obtain qualities. So the Lama should be someone who possesses joyous enthusiasm and diligence towards practice. Next, it states that the Lama should be someone who is rich in scriptural knowledge. So whether it is in scriptural knowledge of sutra or tantra, the Lama has to be someone who is well-read and learned in the Dharma. Next, the next quality is that the Lama is someone who has thoroughly realized suchness, indicating that the Lama is someone who has a profound realization of the nature of emptiness. And even if they do not have direct perception of emptiness, at least they should have a pure understanding of its meaning. The next quality is that the Lama should be someone who is skilled in teaching. So the Lama, it's very important for the Lama to be very skilled and eloquent in explaining the Dharma. The next quality is that the ninth quality is that the Lama should be someone who has the nature of love and compassion. Because even if someone is very skilled in teaching and explaining the Dharma, if they lack the quality of love and compassion towards their students, then this is not very good. And then the final quality of the Lama is that they should be someone who is absolutely tireless in teaching beings, teaching the Dharma. So they shouldn't be someone who sort of gives up easily in helping sentient being, or who says, "Oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore." So they should have that sort of tireless quality in benefiting sentient beings.
Oh, 뒤로
Oh.
다들 제가 근데 인도자는 어다 딘데기다 추르와다 추준데 샤브르와 추준데 샤다 딘데기 추주다 덴비 기위신이 추주가 차나다 야고시라데 다 추주가 계속 참아 두비니 아니 가시 숨제직 봐 아니 디데스 그 차베나스 남니 치면나 세부 송샤 지난 딘인도자네 아니 추 가시 숨제직 봐 디네 숨 봐 아니 다 타만 임베다 간다 신이 두어세 저러 봐. 딘여버 구구여 봐. 어디 딘데지 기타 간다 진이 상해질래야 아니 중나다 주주가는 된바 오늘 딘데질라는 안 한주 다 계획신이 된 외봐 또 신착이 어렸습니다.
So then these are the 10 qualities that a qualified spiritual guide should possess. And at best, we should try to find a spiritual guide that does indeed have these 10 qualities. And it is best if all of these qualities are present. However, if we do not find someone who has all of these 10 qualities, then at the very least it is said that they should possess the first quality of being tamed. So having tamed behaviors through training in the higher training of discipline. And then in this way, finding a guru with these various qualities, we should rely on them.
onda dindeji dindegi ta lama 진이 창하지 그렇게 다 dinde기 lama 진이 창하지 종이나 안에 가는 줄때는 비게 가시고라다 삼조 분조 니이 권해 봐 삼배 된주 저배 된주스다 신이 된주들 조로 니도는 연구하러 봐 세상 뒤인데 전에다 삼바단 저배 권해 봐 아니 된토버치다 제고 열스 다 삼배 된주들 조딩 안주 남에 아니 구유연대 송규연대 로와 투규연대 로와 구유연대 다 직비게 구유 아니 직비게 생산다 아니 직비게 다지 그저 구유 남주 아니 직 가리네다 남에다 난다한다 직비게 갈롭 난다한다 된지 간지텔리네 비게 디지어와 아니 송규연대 있잖아 셰비네다 랑도 남샤 친지 말로 때문에 돈바지기 여탄다 디 아니 남에 송규연대 아니 도구인데 아니 지금 투자와 전부는 된바 아니 지금 지다와다 진입에 또 캠베 토네 아니 지금 가시고 돼 캠방아 돼봐 어디 된제기 지금 토네 종이나 다니 다 고순 도구인데 세디 다 된제 지금 공부 시행지기 있으래 고순 도구인데 참바체 다디 삼배 된주 아니 다 조회 된주 주빈 땅 안주 라메 고순 도구인데 라메 거진 템베고네 아니 라메 가신도 주야 봐 라메 가신도 주세야디 다 셴바게 요마레 라메 지카서 오래 비게 오 나한주다 뒤제주 아니 라메 지단 담반나 신기 최념는 추신도 채나 아니 라메 야 최바 약슈 디토네 로또 거진 제전의 무슨 약슈디 뒤제주 그때 최념네 오체 또 신체가 요리 저는 디인도잖아요 아니 가신 주비 최바세디
So then, once we have found this spiritual guide who has all the qualities of a perfectly qualified Lama, we should then engage in correct reliance upon this kind of guru. And so it's said that in terms of the way in which we rely on a spiritual guide is that we do so in terms of both thought and conduct. So we should have perfect reliance in terms of thought and also perfect reliance in terms of our conduct. So how is it that we rely on the guru by thought? Well, the main way in which we do this is to contemplate the various qualities of body, speech, and mind of our spiritual guide. And so then when we speak about the qualities of body, we think about the very pleasant qualities of the guru, of the guru's body, of their physical expressions or the way in which they teach. We can contemplate these various qualities. In terms of their qualities of speech, mainly we're relying upon the qualities of these teachers when they teach the Dharma. And mainly the quality lies within them teaching the unmistaken way of engaging in correct adoption and abandoning of various factors within our practice. Then in terms of relying on or thinking about the qualities of mind, the main quality of the mind are basically compassion and wisdom. So then the guru should be someone who has the quality of love and compassion within his or her mind. And they should also be someone who has the wisdom of realizing phenomena as they are. We can also say that they need to have 5 qualities of wisdom or understanding. And so thinking about these various qualities of body, speech, and mind, this is the way in which we should rely on the Buddha, on the guru in terms of our thought. Now, in terms of relying on the guru properly in terms of our conduct, mainly this means to accomplish whatever your teachers ask you according to their instructions. So as disciples, the best offering that we can offer to our teachers is to practice the Dharma properly. And in this way, we will be able to follow everything that our teachers say and to accomplish what they ask of us.
오다 딘제기다 아니라 차송 차송 다 방배 윤된디다 당기 조디 로바탕 하나 주더니 비 니몬바다 로바 아니 가지고 레다 니모 니 방배 로바 니모 도순 방배 방바던 된 바스 로바 다가는 신기더니 비 니모바다 다 시제 집에 니가 고도 로바 방바들 아니 시제 집에 세야다 지 만주 뒤제 감다 삼바다 로바 아니 발라니 지다와 신도 캠발라야 드바들 다 시제 드바스 한다 니몽기 바자죠 봐 니몽기 바자들 아니 시집스 너도 쓰기도 제나다 이제 니가 빵땡이 아니 빵배 연된다 냄바 봐 아니 또배 연된데 아니 지비게 최탐제 아니 봐 지다와다 진입이 최탐제 무슨도 아니 지자도 시토바 어디 딘제기 지비게 또배 연된다 냄바 봐 어느 딘제 찍라 아니 라마스기레스 봐 방도기 인덴덴데 어디 딘제기 라마텔라 아니 가란주다 지비게 가란주드니 비게 견도 봉제네 봐 라마텔라 아니 가란주드니 레티브 쳔보 임베 켐베타 라말리아 지 가슈그레 고순투기 제발레 견도 좋은데 아니 다나 야고지 용투기 요마레스 디 요야티 아니 가르토네 인고르스나 가란주 아니 레티브 쳔베 켐베 두신 인고르 지난 디 인두다 가슈고 라마티 아니 오디다 직 탐에 추시해봐 마도 지기 아니 오다 비게 지 가수그래 방도 다 윤대가 되버 인도잖아 텐데위 라마텔이야 견도 봉진네 봐 아니 다나 돈에 소 됐투바지 고야 구요레스 봐 랑셈 장엔도 마조스 봐 무규징한도 쇼스 장엔스는 더 회행스래 회행 제조 봐 개침 보마지야지 근데 마종어 제로 봐 나지 개인도 마죠 아니 무규징한의 쇼스인데 이직이 대바 땜부치 게도부치고 그랬어 어디 아니 템바 어디 된제기다 가서 템베 심베 톤 해봐 마인드풀 시그로 왔다 간다 마인드풀 채고 그랬어 아니 마인드풀 제제네 아니 나 대바도 공도 페토가 채토나 아니 사람이 또 봐줘야 돼 아니 저사 저버자 간지 테네 아니 남지 자와티 티토네 봐 다 용구요레스 연대 군지 시주 진진치 수신 템바 남지 자와로스 송도와 제롬 진기 연대 시주면나 아니 어떻게 됐어요
So then thinking about the various qualities of abandonment and realization that is possessed by our lamas is very important. So then to reiterate, what are the qualities of abandonment that the lamas possess? Well, they have completely abandoned all of the negative emotions, the 3 poisons, as well as all karma. In addition, though, to having abandoned the afflictive emotions, which are the afflictive obscurations, they have also abandoned the cognitive obscurations. So these cognitive obscurations are said to be the imprints of the afflictive emotions. So the Lama is someone who has abandoned all of these cognitive obscurations, and as a result of being free from these cognitive obscurations, they're able to teach each and every sentient being according to his or her individual capacity and aspirations. And so the Buddhas are able to teach sentient beings according to their specific needs out of having abandoned all cognitive obscurations. Now, in terms of the qualities of realization, essentially the quality of realization that is spoken of is the capacity by the lamas to perceive each and every phenomenon, not only as they exist, but in all their vast array through their direct perception. So someone having these qualities of abandonment and realization is the Lama. So then, in relation to this kind of Lama, someone who is possessed of these excellent qualities, we should abandon all thoughts of seeing faults and seeing mistakes in them and practice pure perception towards them. The reason that we are not able to practice pure perception, the reason why we see faults within our gurus, is because of our own karmic obscurations. So we've had these karmic obscurations since beginningless time. We're very much habituated in them. And so we're not able to practice completely pure perception towards our lamas. However, what we should understand is that from the side of the lama's nature, they are completely possessed of the qualities of abandonment and realization. So then we should, as much as possible, cultivate pure perception towards them. And within this state of seeing the Guru as being pure, seeing the Guru as being the Buddha, we should develop great devotion and stable faith towards them and practice mindfulness by bringing our minds again and again back to these points and holding tightly to our mindfulness of Guru devotion. And in this way, we can increase our practice and development over time. In this way, through practicing through increasing our qualities and spiritual development, we're able to complete the grounds and paths leading us to enlightenment. In this way, we attain all realizations and ultimately attain our ultimate goal.
Now, that is what I'm going to do. Pangdos, chevro.
No.
Ani Sanje getini pige maranzu tini pige duje region sumgi tönzegi yorba.
No.
Duje region sumgi tönze dante karitone yungoresena ani duje ani kamda sambada palani chidawashinde kembe tone. Roba duje meba mandawa samlodanda mandawa. Ota tinde mangu shibuji yundu zane ani ta tela pakbe ani Sanje gi ta khanda chikashu tabge tuji wonggerwa. tabge tuji tone ani chi duje ani sambada palani chidawashindu 아니 두제 리젠 숨래야 되니 주 송투부 총으로 와. 지난 뒤 인도산에다 가슈고 팀에 마종아이나 아니 두제 리젠 숨가 된세 투고요 말와. 어쨌든 디데 인도산에다 시제 디버시티 아니 디데기 가슈고레다 니몬보 빵보 짬기 르와 니몬보 빵보 짬비 빵보 짬다 자좀바레 여러와. 자좀보 여르텔레 된주다 두제 리젠 숨기 된세 투고요 말이스. 잼 하도야 가르레스나 아니 건주 니도 자좀 받던 적이 아니 지비게 가지고 뒤지에 감다 삼바다 발란 지다와신 킹게요 말레스 킹게 매베 인도 아니 감다 감 박베 아니 최송단 킹게요 말레스 팀 하jem 베젬베 아니 뒤지에 된제 토야 용고요 말레스 제산 디 인도산에 로바타 시제 디바세티 간다다 전주 셈바싱이디 와 전주 셈바다 산제 던주다 심제 탐제기 된제고요 와 심제 탐제기 된제발라다 그래서 두제리 이제 숨게 와 심제 탐제기 감다 삼바 발라 kengu고요 와 어쨌든 시제 집에서 방과 김전디레스 소수 된다지고 소수 강에서 지고 직 된다 있는데 배지 시제 집에서디 마반에 지기 있으래 다이니 신든 자침부지단 신든 내도 피부치 요야다 시지티바세디 방고셔기요레스.
So this is speaking in terms mainly of the qualities of abandonment and realization of the gurus. And when we speak about the Buddhas, it is said that the Buddhas are beings that are capable of helping the three types of disciples. And so then in order to help the three types of disciples, the Buddhas need to have a very clear perception and understanding of the individual constituents, the individual thinking, the individual aspirations of each and every sentient being. So they have to know about the aspirations that sentient beings have, their own individual aspirations, their way of thinking or their thoughts. All of these have to be known. And through knowing this, the Buddhas, through their their capacity in skillful means, are able to benefit sentient beings. Now, without the qualities of abandonment and realization, the Buddhas would not be able to do this. And specifically, they need to have the quality of abandoning the cognitive obscurations. So simply abandoning the afflictive obscurations is clearly not enough. We see, for example, that the Hinayana Arhats have abandoned the afflictive obscurations. But however, they are not able to benefit the three kinds of disciples. The reason for this is that even though they have abandoned the afflictive obscurations, they, because of not having abandoned the cognitive obscurations, they are not cognizant of sentient beings' various capacities, their various constituents, their thoughts, and their aspirations. And therefore, they cannot teach beings according to these various differences. If they're not able to teach beings according to these various differences, then they are not able to really benefit the three types of beings or the three types of disciples. Now, the Buddhas are able to act to benefit each and every one of these three types of disciples because they do understand where these beings come from, where, what their individual capacity what their individual capacity is. And in this way, then they're able to benefit beings according to their individual needs. And so this is the reason why it is very important that the cognitive obscurations must also be abandoned in addition to the afflictive obscurations.
Then Yamalugyu Tony Shubine, Raba, Ani Kashu Ngamo Gabuchung. Gabuchung, Con Ritaya to Wisara, hunting, the Digichin, Ani Rilia, Ani Kashure, Tansonji Jebta. Ani Tanson Delia, Ankrangda, Tabake, Ani Yanga Chusherochis. Soon is a
no.
Ani Tanson Digi Namsan, Ani Pige Tombani Corson is a Tombani Corson, Ani Ta Kashure, Pige me now me names that Shirabuna Yungorwa. This to soon Duzane, Ani Gebuti Betty, Huntorchin. Ta di Chu Yangda Shigi Samaris, Ani Be Kashure, Chu Lopa Shigi is at some. Today, any meeting, Chushing, Lam Loba Denge Chona, and Lumba Horal, Shidi, Chipiki Papi, we have passion, Yorama also said something, Lamatipa, Severes. What's that today in the Zane? Lamatiki, Lama Senata, and Transon Jorota, Lama to Zirwata, Korangata, Tony Suni, Chu, Namda Shevrova, Jedi, and Chu Shedan, Mandiba Inza, and Koran Tel Parjechunrova. Chizanti in the Zane. 어쨌든 뒤에 감다 삼바다 발란이 있어 마시나 아니 추 된다 넣어지네 아니 추디 밀펜토야 파샤니 아니 냠렘 먹으라 소쇼가 된대기네 주 요요레스 제단디 가르토니 거스나 고 소수 비게 추디 남다시 띵기니 포종을 뒤제들 때 뒤줄랩도 레면도 봐 아니 지금 값수 밥도 하면도 디 된데 제거해야 돼 싶게 해서 저기 요레스 당 알아서 지단 류기 남주고 톤네다 미 삼줄 빠베다 안 수이네 미디 되버 컨트 파우도 셰지다 용으로 와. 다야 감도 삼번 발란이스디 한 셴바지다 한디 믹스에 네바치. 요레스.
So to tell you a story about why it's so important to abandon these cognitive obscurations. There's a story of, this king who one day decided to go hunting in the mountains. And when he went hunting, he came across an ascetic meditator in the mountains. And seeing this ascetic sage there, he developed great faith in this person and requested him to teach him the Dharma. And when this ascetic began teaching the king, he taught the king about the meaning of emptiness. And so he taught the essence of the Heart Sutra, meaning from the Heart Sutra, that there is no eye, no ear, no nose, and so forth. And in teaching emptiness to the king was greatly shocked by this teaching. And he developed the incorrect conception that this was not the genuine Dharma. And the king thought, if this is not the genuine Dharma, then I also cannot regard this person as being a genuine guru. And if I rely on an incorrect Dharma, an incorrect guru, then there's no way that I would be able to bring genuine peace and happiness to my country. Never mind bringing peace and happiness. In fact, this would bring great harm to my country as well. And so thinking this, the king actually killed the ascetic sage, thinking that this was not the pure Dharma. And so then it's very important then that we do actually, one actually teaches the Dharma according to being's capacity. Teaching the pure Dharma is good, but sometimes that's not enough, right? If one teaches the pure Dharma, but out of not having a clear understanding of disciples' capacities, what they are ready to hear and what will actually benefit them, can in fact lead to these kinds of problems. And so when teaching the Dharma, even though the Dharma teaching may be pure, one also has to assess different aspects. For example, is this correct? Is this the correct time to teach this Dharma? Is this Dharma in fact relevant to the being that is here? All of these things are very important to take into consideration. And so then even though in terms of our behaviors, our physical expressions and so forth, we can benefit beings to some degree, ultimately, however, to really benefit them, if one has clear understanding of their background, capacity, and so forth, there really is a special sort of a special power that is there if one has a real understanding of where that being is coming from and what will actually benefit them.
다드네 가서요. 오늘 그 감도 삼 드네 쳐봐 레레라레. 디제 다드네 그래 오늘 다드네 안주 남주도와 최된당 이네 주 꾸마 칭하면 다 셰초요 말이야. 마소 메자오스 봐. 봐. 소담 아담네 셰초 말이야. 아니 양지 소마다비네 양 직문에 미디 최려 뇌도 좀 레스 삼백 안주 하고 도해주네 양디 최 셰는 되게 하래. 어쨌든 되게
So generally, it is also stated that one should not teach the Dharma if the person, the person who will be listening to the Dharma has not requested it. So it's considered an infraction to teach the Dharma to someone who has not, in fact, requested a teaching. However, if it is the case that you perceive someone who would benefit from hearing the Dharma, then it is allowed to teach the Dharma even without a request.
다드네 지제 당고도 사이스 봐. 라마 템바세티 주어체. 다드네 니지 템바세티 봐. 고아탐에 동행이 전라나 대외 봉비지 주기 심진참 진진기 장배 파만은 되난다. 차단반에 진진다 닌지곰 랑선향도 먼저 닌지 강도 쇼 템바체메도 지네 닌지 강도 송스. 다디 가수 조디 아니 가슈데 chanju semje ba. Ba chanju ge semje zawa di da ningji ro ba. Di zawa ningji de song do ba. O zhe de di de ningji chamba si ming da ma do zo di da chanju ge semje sa de.
So that completes our discussion on the first stanza, Mindfulness of the Guru. Now we move on to the second stanza, which is Mindfulness of Compassion. And here, mainly, the meaning that is taught here is about the cultivation of the mind of enlightenment, or bodhicitta, the root of which is said to be compassion. So here, although it is mindfulness of compassion, in the fourth line it states, "Do not let your mind go astray, but place it within compassion." Even though the word compassion here is used, the meaning is bodhicitta.
This one. No. This one. The verse the niba de wa. Ninji chamba set che. Da de ne 지단 땅 안은 주 가지고 그래 태과 첨부 남지 자와티 다 전주 심 차되게 요래 그봐 아니 가지고 그래다 태과 첨부 남지 자와 전주 심 기 자와티 아니 닝지디 아니 가지고 그래다 네 도다 봐숨도 개체와 인스 도마 개체와 아니 사변다부터 자와 그봐 아니 봐도 개체와 아니 출류다부터 자와 아니 타마 개체와 아니 리부민바 가지고 리부민바다부터 자와스 어쨌든 뒤인데 전에 아니 비게 가지고 그랬다 도다 봐숨도 개체와스 다 전주기 쌤기 자와데다 전주 쌤스나 아주 남진 되니기 삼바지로 와 그봐 가지고 심지 탐지기 턴도 되네 비게 다 남진 턴도 냐 삼바지로 와 디기 시절부터 가르토는 지기 어렸으나 다 조디 심지기 동해 통해 권에다 연구고 여러 와 심지기 동해 하도나 아니 심지니 야 대다 대화다 그 동해다 전에 찜으로 녀도 삼바기 도구 말어 와 지산디 인도산에다 동해 통해야 아니 가지고 그랬다 닝지 삼바티기 와 동해 아니 셰베 통해 아니 대다 동해다 전에 찜으로 녀다 가지고 그래 가지고 그랬다 남바티 차되게 여러 와 미국 심지 탐지를 미니 남바 대다 안 동해다 제도기다 제외 남바 진지 지산디 인도 닝지 당 아주 더다 봐숨도 개체왔으니 개체부치는 순구요 됐어.
So the root of the Mahayana is said to be bodhicitta, and the root of bodhicitta is said to be compassion. And so this practice of compassion is very important. It is said to be important in the beginning, middle, and end of one's practice. It is important in the beginning because it is like the seed. It is important in the middle because it is like the water and the fertilizer that allows the seed to grow. And then it is important in the end because it is what brings fruition to our efforts. So it ripens the fruit of our spiritual efforts. Now, when we speak about bodhicitta, essentially bodhicitta is the wish to attain the state of omniscience. And one wishes to attain the state of omniscience in order to be of benefit to all sentient beings. And the basis of this view, the basis of bodhicitta and this aspiration is essentially compassion that sees the suffering of all sentient beings. And so in order to develop compassion, we need to really see and to think about the suffering of sentient beings, because without seeing their suffering, we are not able to really generate the wish, thinking, may they be free from suffering. And so then it is said that compassion has a sort of dual aspect. We speak about compassion in terms of its object of observation and also in terms of its aspect. So the object of observation of compassion is sentient beings. It takes sentient beings as its object. And in relation to these sentient beings, it has the aspect of wishing them to be free from suffering.
코아탐에 동해기 전하는 송도와 즉 당보대 코아탐에 맞다 코아탐에 동해기 전하 코아스나 가스고 그러잖아 완전 코아스도 전에 이게 롱버를 붙이기로 땅아서 코알이 어르세 즉 이게 전불린 여버점 코아 임베소르지 좋아 아니 즉 된지직 딱 주의상 코디고 알아 이 자기요 말이스 코아스는 된다데 가르랬으나 레다 님문베 원기 민두의 신도 좋아 아니 장간나지로 쏘봐 좋아 동해 아니 뇽에 내지라 코아스 좋아 다딩 조조데 가르스 순고르스 사제 녀월레 공부티 좋아 레다 님문 원기 아니 비게 다 라와메 봐 좋아 아니 직 비게 인삼자치네 아니 사제 녀월레 공부지 랭겨로 딜렘바 코르 다가랑 코아 차기 여러 마도지 전불린 딜 깨네 코아 방상에 밑 전불린 딜 깨 줘버 디고 콘주 대게 좀 총버 좀기 코아 차기요 말이 다 레다니 몽기 샤원도 조공에 되게 참 코아 바스 저 나란주 된다도 또 코아스는 가르스는 나란주 제신 방례 개침부 짜침부 지대 나란주 류부지도 와 디 다가랑 코아 차대요 그랬어 마도 들려 지상 코아세 코아 타면 동네 쪽에서 코아세 코아디 그봐 어
So in the second stanza, the first line reads, "In unending samsara, the prison of suffering, wander the sentient beings of the six realms, bereft of happiness." So when we speak of samsara or cyclic existence, often what appears to our minds is a sense that samsara is sort of like a place, a physical place, like it's a country in this world somewhere. You know, we say we are in samsara, like we're in some kind of like a physical place. However, this is not how we should understand cyclic existence or samsara. The way in which we should understand samsara is it is a state of having, the state of being subject to karma and the afflictions, and as a result of being subject to them, experiencing birth, aging, sickness, and death again and again, even though we don't want to experience this kind of suffering. And so, through abiding in this state, being controlled by karma and the negative emotions, we undergo suffering involuntarily again and again. This is how we can understand samsaric existence. In addition, we should also understand samsara as being the appropriation of the afflicted aggregates. So the afflicted aggregates, this mind and body that we have, are aggregates that we obtained involuntarily through the force of karma and the negative emotions. So it is not the case that just being born means that one is a samsaric being. What it means, however, is that if you are born under the power of karma and the negative afflictions and driven by these forces to appropriate these afflicted aggregates involuntarily, without your actually wishing to, this is what is samsara. And so then when we look very carefully at this body that we have, it's something that we so cherish, that we treasure and we always aim to protect. And yet this, in fact, is samsara.
어제선 디체 제산 다디 인디산에 와 레뉴 온게 라와 메버 아니 안에 양도 인점 자와 텔라 코아스 디스기어스 다 동해기 전라서와 동해기 전라서네 다 코알이야 아니 동해숨 동해투 동해게 근데 뭐부치 그봐 아니 동해기 동해 교회 동해 잡아두시기 동해스 동해기 동해서는 안주 단다 동해리 원진대 그봐 아니 지비게 사제기 좋아 동해 고나야 다 저거나야 나자 다 지거어 방하는 어디 되게 상황데 동해기 동해스 다디 든주이 소자 든주이 인진의 동해는 원진 투야디 아니 잡아 두지 그래서 교회 동해 쉬어야 되다 말한주 비게 사제기 좋아 대화 말한주 대화를 진대야 그러와 아니 지 비게 대화를 원진대야 단다 지 가수래다 지 비게 유수소래 그러와 수자지로르자 비게 정말 때는 영향 그러와 다 수제보 아니 자 냠보 아니 티 신부 안롱 신부 아니 지비게 렉자 잠보 그러와 오 된대기 지비게 때는 용대야기다 대화되게 정말로라 아니 가수래 교회 동에스 디 가이스나 다른 구베 뒤중이지 그러와 그 때도 대화지 개척이 오마르바 아니 잡아 뒤지기 동에서는 다 가수 레뉴인 공이 잠자베 아니 사직이 풍부들라 다 잡아 뒤지기 동에서 다 동에 디숨체야 들어와 다 동에 개체와이나 아니 개와 가와 나와 치와 그러와 아니 도바제니 민게와 미드베 뭐 토독 봐봐 안 도바다 체 아까 도바다 미체와 미두보다 체바 무슨 뜻인 거래
Then in relation to the phrase stating the prison of suffering, and so when we speak about suffering here, we mainly mean the state of having to take rebirth again and again, driven by karma and the negative afflictions. Now, in terms of suffering, here it is referring to the various sufferings of samsaric existence. And they speak about sometimes 3 types of suffering, at other times 6 types, and then at other times 8 types of suffering. So in terms of the 3 types of suffering, we have the suffering of change, and the suffering of pervasive conditioning. So the suffering of suffering is the kind of manifest suffering that each and every one of us recognizes as being suffering. And so then it is said to be the unpleasant, afflicted, unpleasant feelings that are experienced. So these are things that we all understand as being pain and suffering, headaches, toothaches, and that sort of thing. It is said that even animals are able to recognize this level of suffering as being a type of suffering. Then, in terms of the suffering of change, the suffering of change is pleasant, afflicted, pleasant feelings that are experienced. And so then when we understand suffering of change, we need to see that it is what we usually recognize as being something pleasant, pleasant sensations. So they are the pleasant sensations that we experience through seeing beautiful forms, or hearing melodious sounds, smelling fragrant smells, or tasting delicious food, or experiencing comfortable physical sensations. These are forms, sounds, smells, and so forth. These are the sources of our experience of pleasant sensations, which constitute the suffering of change. What we have to understand, however, about this kind of suffering of change, this kind of happiness, is that it is certainly not a lasting or eternal form of happiness. Now, in terms of the final of the three forms of suffering, the suffering of pervasive conditioning, I have already spoken of that. This is essentially that suffering of having to take birth again and again, appropriating these afflicted aggregates under the control of karma and the negative emotions. Now, in terms of the 8 types of suffering, we have the suffering of birth, aging, sickness, and death. Then we have the suffering of meeting things that are unpleasant and being separated from things that are pleasant, or encountering what you do not want and not encountering what you do want.
다 저것도 suffering 또. 다시 하시기.
Hello. So Rinpoche says, well, now I'm hungry. So, so maybe we should stop over here.
Suffering of hungriness.
Hello.
Thank you.